And hello, everyone. Welcome back again to a new episode of Humans in Accounting. This time I have Taylor joining Tailor Hartman at Celerity Accounting. Celerity is a CAS firm focused in supporting mid-sized businesses, working specifically with QBO and with NetSuite. I understand. So today we're going to be talking with Taylor and knowing a little bit more about his story, about the story of Celerity. So thank you so much, Taylor, for joining this time.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to get into it and talk to you, man. Thanks
it's
for
it,
having me.
it, thank you for joining. Yeah, we have been talking now for a few. We met. How did we meet? Probably with. That's a good one.
Um,
I have no idea.
I think you reached out to me on LinkedIn a couple months ago, and as I do with most cold messages, ignored it. But then, uh, I don't remember exactly which friend, but somebody referred South offices to me, and I'm like, that sounds familiar. And then I
Yeah,
responded to you. Yeah,
you are
I
right.
can't.
You're right. Probably that's you know as a sales guy. Sometimes I do reach out. But yeah, that's how we start talking. And as we mentioned, we've never met each other. But well, now in the next few weeks we'll be meeting each other in Arizona. Looking forward for that. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy that you're joining this episode. I told you already, and as you know, here in Humans in Accounting, the idea or what we want to know is, or we want to talk with firm owners just to know a little bit more about their story. And I guess the first question I'm kind of intrigued, and I wanna ask you, yeah, if you can tell us a little bit more about the story. I think that you have Celerity for a little bit over 3 years now, right?
Yeah, so we've been around for 3 years and 1 month.
Okay.
And so before I started Celerity, a little bit of background about what I did. I went to school for accounting. I got my MBA and my CPA kind of while working in accounting. I started my career in private, and then after I think 6 years, went to BDO and worked at BDO as an outsourced accountant. That's where I kind of
Okay.
learned how to do all the stuff that I'm doing now in my firm. Um, but for a short stint after BDO, I ended up going back to private, and I found it super boring after working with really interesting, big competitive clients and people in public accounting, going back and working in a small office locally. And it was post COVID where I was kind of forced to go back in the office, and I had a like 8 month old puppy at home that was like destroying the place every time we left. So it was kind of my goal to kind of get a few clients on the side and see if I could just at least have a buffer in between jobs. So I started going on Upwork, which is a freelance platform where you can kind of apply to jobs, gigs that people post. If they need an accountant, they'll just post like, "Hey, I need an accountant, and I expect to spend like $30 an hour to clean up the books." So I did that for, I want to say, 3 months. And after those 3 months, I did a few cleanup jobs, and then they actually became monthly clients where they were paying me, one, two, 3,000 a month to do their monthly accounting, which ended up helping me, make the decision to kind of start my own thing. So March 2022, I started Celerity with those clients from Upwork and just kind of like jumped off the deep end.
Well, you know what? I didn't know that, and that's a great story. So you started like basically the first clients that you had were from Upwork that wanted just to clean their books, and now are those some of the clients that you had back then are still working with you at Celerity?
Yeah, so we haven't had any real churn. I say real churn because we had 2 businesses go out of business, and I don't blame that on us. But we've lost 0 clients other than that. So all of those clients are still with us, actually. Yeah.
Okay, I need to check now your website, and I'm pretty sure if I were you, I would just shout out that out loud. If that's a great KPI,
Yeah, right.
just to put out there, hey, we have 0 churn. It kind of makes me want to work with you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I know it's not going to last forever, and I'm just counting down the days until that changes. But yeah, actually, the first year, all of our clients came from Upwork. So
Okay,
it was a
okay,
really
okay.
lucrative source for finding clients early on.
And what about now? Just out of curiosity, like, are you still like? I guess now things change, and you have I don't know other or how do you get clients now through reference? I imagine it's gonna be one thing, but do you maybe still go on Upworks just to look for clients?
My profile still exists on Upwork as like a top rated, freelancer, but I don't really apply on there anymore because you got to go through a lot of
Yeah,
really cheap, kind of
right.
crappy jobs to apply for it. And so I don't really get clients on there anymore unless they reach out to me directly from there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's mainly been referrals these days, and referrals from other accountants is the majority of those referrals. So yeah,
Okay,
but we've been
okay.
trying, email marketing. We tried Google Ads for a little bit. That was kind of a waste of money. And then I actually didn't do any networking early on, and we're starting to kind of focus locally on networking and stuff like that to kind of open up some other avenues for leads.
Okay, okay. Just had this question. I wanted just to ask you when you mentioned your puppy. What's the name of the that puppy? What's the name
Uh,
of your puppy?
Bastion.
Bastion, like
Mhm.
Sebastian without S.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sebastian without the S.
Perfect. Just want to make sure we got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great that's a great story on how you started. As you know, here the objective of this podcast, I'm kind of obsessed, and I like to know about yeah, entrepreneurs and just to know like how they started. And here, what we want to do or achieve is, yeah, know all the story and also the people. That's why we call it humans in accounting.
Mhm.
Something that I have decided on this episode and from now on, I am, maybe you don't know this, but I'm a foodie guy. I enjoy cooking and eating mainly. And I want to know, and I want to ask you, you're going to be the first one because on the prior 7 episodes we've done so far, I've never asked this before, but I want to know a little bit more each guest. What's your favorite food? Sorry, I'm going to just ask you an entirely different question and then we go back to Celerity. But what's your favorite food, Taylor?
My favorite food is traditional Japanese ramen, tonkatsu ramen,
Okay.
and I make it at home. The best I've ever had is in Japan. Went there last year, but I do my best to make it at home, and it's like an all day thing because you got to make the broth. You got to go to an Asian store and buy like parts of the pig to make the broth with, and it's an all day endeavor, or maybe even 2 day endeavor depending on how you make it. But that's by far my favorite food.
Really, really, and I didn't know this. So you prepare it. You studied this. You went through a YouTube tutorial. You
Yeah.
have a Japanese mother, or how does it work?
uh, I don't remember how it started, to be honest, but yeah, I have a cookbook that's Japanese ramen. It's just all ramen recipes.
Wow.
And I use that, but also, yeah, YouTube, of course. I can't remember the guy's name, Alex something. He's a white dude from Texas. He has a really good ramen recipe on YouTube.
Well, then send me that episode. I love ramen. I
Yeah.
also like cooking. I've never even tried starting just to cook ramen. I just whenever go to a Japanese restaurant, and it's one of my favorite options. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna do a list, and from the next 100 episodes, then I'm gonna take some statistics to know what's the favorite food of everyone's, or of CEOs of accounting firms.
Yeah.
Okay,
Setting the bar high.
perfect. Thank you for answering me that. It was just something that I wanted just to start doing. And tell me now, going back, yes, to the business, going back to Celerity. Tell me a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about like through this 3 years and 1 month that you've been in business. Like, what were one or two like main challenges that you had, that you encounter, that yeah that you wanna share, something that happened as far as challenges.
Yeah, I would say the biggest challenge, one was, so when I quit my job, it was kind of abrupt and I was just trying to survive. I wasn't trying to like be this big time. I wasn't trying to be like to build this into anything. I was just trying to make enough money to like live my life and hang out with my dog and my wife. Um, so I think that mentality had to shift, and that was really difficult early on to kind of be like, I can actually do this, and to kind of fight your imposter syndrome as you
Right.
kind of scale up. And you have to kind of grow as a person, especially where I came from, where I was like, I'm not ready for this. I don't really know what I'm doing. Um, you have to grow as a person to help grow your business. So I think that was probably the biggest challenge, was growing myself and learning how to, hire people, do sales, um, build the business and the systems around like actually running a business. I never run a business before, but I've helped lots of clients kind of run their businesses.
Right.
Um, so that was probably the biggest challenge, I would say. And then secondary to that, just to mention it, I think um, focusing on growth and making a decision to grow was another big like year and a half point for me. I was like, you could stay working with maybe one contractor, one employee, and making like above average wage, doing kind of what I was doing. I was making, over $200,000 a year with just me in the beginning, the first year. Um, so kind of deciding to go past that and scale it up and like actually focus on growing it into something that's, bigger than yourself. That was a big decision. And it took me a lot of time, like a year and a half, to actually decide, okay, I want to kind of grow and challenge myself and kind of see where I can take this.
That has to do with because from my perspective, and my perspective, it's not always right, and some I would say many times it's really wrong, but it has to do with the personality of people, right? What do you
Yeah.
think? Like, I feel that some other not tailors would say, no, hey, look, everything is working. Why would I focus on growing if this is working just fine?
Right.
And maybe other entrepreneurs, yeah, people like you or like me, that say, all right, no, I just want to continue growing. It makes that, or you need to make that switch. Was there anything, or was a point where you thought that and you said, all right, I feel I am here and I don't want to continue doing this. This is do you identify that moment, or it was just something that happened?
It it was like 6 months of considering it, honestly. And I think I was just like, I know I'll get bored and of just staying the same and working with the same clients and never really changing. So I kind of knew myself, and I kind of had to, search within a little bit to see what I would prefer long term. Um, but Erica Good on LinkedIn has a really good other perspective on this because she does. I think she works 15 hours a week and makes like
Right.
200,000 a year, and like she's like the representative of that, and she does a really good job. And who knows, I maybe wouldn't have done it had I been following her back then. Um, but yeah, it was a good decision ultimately, and I think it also, like I said, it required some growth on my part to get to the point where that was even a possibility. Because I mean, in the first year when I started my business, I went to Intuit Connect, and it was really intimidating. And I was like hiding in my room with social anxiety, um, and
Yeah.
like I I just remember having so much anxiety about going to like in person things and like even calling myself like the business owner and CEO of my company in that first year and a half. So I think it required me to kind of get some confidence with that too, to kind of get to the next level.
Was
So
was that was that the first event that you went into it or
yes.
QuickBooks Connect? It was all right.
First time in
I
Vegas too.
and that was I've been kind of my job is just to go to different conferences and the states so far, and I'm pretty sure that it might be QuickBooks or Intuit Connect. I guess is like definitely the biggest one, right?
The
Or are
biggest
there
the biggest mainstream one. I go to Sweet World as well for NetSuite, and that's like 4 times bigger.
really?
Yeah,
I,
it's like 12,000 people or something. It's ridiculous.
oh, okay, okay. And is that okay? Then I'll ask you about that one. That's one that it goes every single year. It's only for
Yeah.
NetSuite.
Yep. It's only for NetSuite, and I think a lot more people use NetSuite than we realize. But yeah, they fill up entire 3 or 4 entire buildings for lunch that are like, I don't even know how big they are. They're huge. And when they do presentations, there's screens. So, because you're so far from the actual presenter, there's screens like every 80 feet. So
Right.
you can actually see what's going on. So it's a pretty big event.
Okay.
Also in
Okay.
Vegas. They seem to be in Vegas a lot.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. In my case, Intuit Connect was the first time for me in Vegas. Also, I was there last year. Yeah, last year. Probably be there this year as well. Will you be going this year?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm on the Intuit Partner Council. So,
Oh, all right. All right.
yep.
So, well, I'll see you. I'll see you there as well. And let's go. Well, we talked a little bit about challenges on the other side, achievements, milestones, something that you can think through this 3 years and 1 month. And now I know it's 3 years and 1 month. That you had something that you said, okay, we have accomplished this. I can't
Mhm.
believe we got here. Maybe it was something really important for the firm, or maybe it was something not really important, but that for you meant a lot. What are the one or two things that you can think of?
One of those things is coming up. But I'll say the first thing first. I think for me, it was getting through year two, and actually having employees, which was crazy to me. Like that concept didn't even make sense. I'm like, I not only am supporting myself, but like supporting, 2 other people as well, which is just mind blowing to think about from where I came from, and getting to that 2 year mark. So like, I don't think I trusted that it was a thing that was going to stick around until year two. Like, and those clients stuck with us that long, and now they've stuck with us over 3 years, which is amazing. But I think that was a big milestone to be like, okay, we survived 2 whole years. That's incredible. We're profitable. We're like crushing it. It's not just a fluke. Um, and then the other big milestone I would say for me is in May this year, we're having an in-person retreat in Madison, and I'm flying in 2 employees. We have a team of 5 full-time employees, and then I have 2 contractors. So we're flying in 2 people. We're doing a whole 2 days kind of retreat thing, and like focusing on culture and team building and stuff like that. So that to me is like a really big milestone, and that just feels like it's a real thing, which is cool.
The two examples that you just gave, I don't know if you realize. Well, probably you do, but it has to do with people. First thing you mentioned is that you're now employed the first employees that now they are earning their own money, and they're supporting probably their families. And the second thing that you are mentioning is that you're able now to fly them in. I love the answer you gave, and I think that's really important. And when you realize, hey, look, and now I'm not only supporting my clients, but my team. It's something like, I don't know. I feel like we feel maybe proud of ourselves at some point or it has something to do with that. So yeah, that's great. Happy to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
Tell
That's
me.
what it's all about. Honestly,
Yeah.
like the thing, I didn't even realize this early on, but like in the beginning, it was like money, and that's the most important thing. But now it's kind of
Right.
transitioned to like, how many people can we give this like really flexible, amazing job to, and how many clients can we help to that where they're getting like really good work. So it's like this two-part, like we get to help bunch of really cool businesses, and I get to help support and make really good lives for the employees that work for us. So it's kind of like that's the whole reason I'm doing it at this point.
Absolutely. That's great. It's great to hear. It's great to hear from people that are working with you, and from your own clients, which I still remember you have a zero churn. Incredible. Great.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about I'm in touch with many I'll say firm owners from different firms around the states that are doing, I will say, like similar things, maybe for different needs from different clients. In my case, I think I told you my story, but I'm kind of new to the accounting industry. I have been working all my life in tech. And I don't know, I feel, and I want to ask you, like there is this community of people in accounting, or maybe it's just me that I'm seeing from outside, and maybe I was working in another industry where everyone was so jealous about sharing things or insights or stuff.
Mhm.
Where here, from my perspective, I'm still amazed, like how you can talk with colleagues and say, hey, look, I'm going with through this issue, or has this happened to you? And they're gonna stop what they're doing and say, yeah, sure, let's come in, I'll tell you what happened, or this is something that happened to me and I don't want you that this happens to you. Do you feel that, or it's just me being comparing two entirely different industries? I don't know. Can you relate with
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I relate with that a lot. And that's like the best part for me. And I think, like I mentioned, going to Intuit Connect was terrifying. I spent 80% of it like hiding in my room, but that other 20%, like I met Marie, who's on the Intuit Partner Council with me, Blake, who has the accounting podcast, and like all these really interesting people who kind of were curious about my situation, gave advice, and like also were really inspiring people to meet. So that's just kind of scaled up over the last 3 years as well. And I have all these different groups of people and communities and people I can reach out to for specific questions. And I kind of give back in that way too now these days. But yeah, we're so open about everything. And I mean, there's so many businesses in the entire world. We're never going to like, we rarely compete. I've only maybe had one client from someone I even know come to us from them. So I think there's no risk of that. And we're all kind of in this together. So I think that's honestly the most inspiring thing for me is the different groups of people. And
Yeah.
as you'll see when we're in, Scottsdale next month,
Yeah.
that's, yeah, it's the
But
best
but but
part.
but but but, but, but why do you think this is because again I've been in other industries working for a long period of my
Mm,
time, and I felt directly like being jealous of sharing uh, a tenth of the information that you guys share in accounting. And here, I don't know if it has to do maybe with these events, but I think that in any industry, there are also events that everyone is attending.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I'm still amazed. I mean, I'm grateful that now I'm able to that I'm working in this industry, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where it came from originally. Maybe some really good people, but like
Maybe.
for the most part, we do the same thing. Uh, and we've been doing the same thing for like 50 years.
Right.
So, I mean, some of it's new, like CAS is more of a new type of accounting. Outsourced accounting is new, but like tax and audit, they've been the same for like 20 years. Most people service their clients in the same way. So I think it's easy to share the little differences you're doing. And yeah, I think we're all like not worried about our clients being poached or like someone getting an edge on us because we're all and there's so many businesses to work with. So
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm sure it's also some really good role models in the space too who have been really open or vulnerable about how they do things. They kind of are good uh representatives of this whole thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe I don't know.
I agree. I agree with what that. All right. And let me ask you, since now let's go through as far as trying to differentiate or trying to yeah differentiate from other businesses. I know that you guys work a lot with NetSuite, right? Some of
Right.
your clients are from NetSuite,
Yep.
but let's talk a little bit about I don't know. I'm me like 89% of the world right now. I guess we're all really into I don't know if into but intrigued or amazed with AI. As far as tech, what do you what are the main partners or what's yeah what do you guys are using and Celerity that it's helping you or something that you wanna share from the tech side.
Yeah. We got a lot. This might be a
Mm-hmm.
long one. So we don't really have an industry niche. So we niche on QuickBooks Online, and we niche on NetSuite for accounting systems. We do
Okay.
everything from bookkeeping up to CFO services. So we kind of use those two systems to facilitate, the financial data to do all those things. Um, and then on top of that, we use Keeper. Keeper kind of manages the month-end close process, at least for our QuickBooks clients. We also push NetSuite through them just to keep everything organized, and it organizes the whole month-end process. We have a portal for our clients, and they develop really quickly, and I really like their team. And so that's a key part of what we do. And then we haven't got into it a whole lot, but one of our differentiators is that we communicate really well and we have really good relationships with all of our clients. And we really prioritize that as well. Like I try to be as close to in-person, as close to internal employees as we can with really good boundaries. So my clients invite me to, like, I went to a Bucks game last month with one of my clients. And we're having a little party with all of our clients, local clients, in May when all the employees are here. So we really focus on, having really good relationships, and we use something called Missive to
Mm-hmm.
manage communication. And Missive is like Front or Superhuman, I think, Superhuman.
Right.
It's an email platform where you can share emails and then also have tasks related to those emails. But what I like the most about it, and actually the only really major use case that we're using for AI right now, is they have AI powered rules for emails. So you can add, like, if this email says this thing, have an AI kind of read it, and it will, like, you can inject a little bit of AI logic with incoming emails, so it can automatically go to like a person, or it can automatically forward to somebody, etc. And I think that is so cool. But we track communication KPIs through Missive as well. which helps hold the team accountable and make sure we don't miss anything related to communication.
I wanted just to ask you there, because you
Yeah.
mentioned something. As you said, with really clear boundaries as far as clients.
Yeah.
How clear are those boundaries? You send them an email, hey, look, these are the things that you're allowed, or this is how you can reach out to me. But at the same time, if it's a differentiator that you can talk, then you need
Yeah.
to make sure that they're not just calling you directly to your cell phone Thursday at 2 a.m. because they realize they have not filled the form of whatever. So how do you manage to have those really clear boundaries, as you said?
Yeah, so another app I didn't mention, Ignition. We use Ignition for all our proposals. And we break down what we're going to do when we send the proposal and they accept it. One thing I've done recently, and we're not perfect at this, we're far from perfect still, but I'm working on it, is we have a call after they accept the proposal to really double check everything that's on there and be like, is this exactly what you want us to do? Anything that's outside of this, we have an hourly rate, or like we'll do another engagement for that, just to make sure we're staying within bounds on that. And then I also share that with all the team members that are going to be working on it, so they know exactly what they should be doing to provide value to this client and know when they're going outside those boundaries. So I think it's just really good communication with the client about the boundaries, and then also the employees, so they know that they're not supposed to go outside those boundaries either. And then we ask questions like your preferred communication style. We use open phone, so we have 9 to 5 kind of boundaries on the phones that everyone's using to talk to clients. We do payroll, so that's a big, super important thing to have a phone number for that. And then so open phone's been really good too. Also good for 2FA codes if you want to automate that part. So between those two things, we just communicate it when they try to go outside the bounds, and usually we just do an hourly rate to kind of deal with it in that scenario. But it's tough when you're people pleasing, but you want to stay profitable, so you can't do too much.
Absolutely.
But what I would also say is there's a book called Give to Grow that really resonates with me. It's about giving a little bit of extra in order to, win the potential work down the line. Like, there might be opportunities that arise from giving a little bit more and having an abundance mindset. So I am okay a little bit with going out of scope with certain clients, because I think it will come back to us in the future in a lot of scenarios.
Like that mindset you said, give to growth. That's the name of the book.
Give to Grow by Mo Bunnell. Yep.
Okay. You know what? That's a good thing that now you gave me this idea, as I started with you as far as food, favorite food for each guest. I could also ask for a book recommendation, which is something that I think that everyone can value. And well, you've said that. I'll pay you now the copyright for the next question I'm going to ask future guests. That's great. I think that's, and I also liked what you said, having after they sign a proposal and everything is said, you just take the time and say, all right, let's still do another call, and this is what we are all on the same page. This is how we will be working. And you do that not only with your client, but also with your team. So that's a great way. That's a great way to to define those boundaries. I think that's a good idea.
Communicating expectations has been a very big learning experience for me. So you got to do it on both sides.
Yeah, that's perfect. Taylor, this is a good one. A question that I want to probably round up this episode, but as you know, our audience mostly are accountants and firm owners, and also people that are maybe thinking of being at that point where you were with Upwork 3 years, 4 years ago, where you thought, all right, should I go ahead and maybe start my own firm, or should I continue getting more clients like this? So let me ask you this question: like, what's a really great advice that you could have or would have gave yourself when you were there, when you were like taking the first few clients from Upwork, or maybe to someone else, not you, but who's in that situation, like thinking, should I go ahead and go and start my business? Is this something that I really want to? What's a great advice that you could give yourself or someone else in this situation?
Yeah, I think um, I would say you have way more worth than you think you do. And I think we all have this major imposter syndrome, especially when we work for somebody else and we have these, comp conversations once a year where they give us, inadequate raises most of the time, depending on where you work. Um, and everything is so structured. I think you don't really know what you can do on your own. And for me, working in public accounting and working, underneath other people, I was ambitious, but I was kind of held back by that whole process. And then the second I kind of jumped off and did my own thing, I had the potential went from very little to like unlimited. I like
Yeah.
the fact that we've gotten to where we are now is something I would have never dreamed of back when I quit my job. So I think you're kind of limiting your potential staying working for someone else in a kind of boring job in a cubicle, like I was. And I think if you're thinking about making the jump and you financially can afford it and you have some safeguards in place, I would just do it. It's easier than you think it is. And honestly, I was talking to my friend Paul last week, Paul Seaton, who also has a firm, and him and I were like amazed. It's so much easier and so much less scary than you think it's going to be to kind of jump into your own thing. So I think if you're in the right spot, you have some decent experience, um, just try it. What's the worst that can happen? You can go back and work for somebody else if it doesn't work out. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree. You know what? I've been asking this question, and this is a question that I really like, yeah, to ask. And I would say, like in some way or another, maybe everyone gave like a different answer, but at the same time, that different answer, it meant the same. It meant like go for it. It meant like do it. It's what you've said. Like, what's the worst it can happen? Um, and I'm 100%, 120% sure that there are many things that not only from a business, also in life, there are many things that we're missing out just because we have, yeah, this imposter syndrome, or because we don't think that we can get there, and maybe
yeah,
we never tried. And I mean, like anything in life, maybe go and say to this girl when you are 12, hey, I like you. And maybe we don't do it because we are so afraid that this girl of also 12 can tell us, no, I don't like you, Alex. But yeah, somehow I get to the very same answer in different ways. So yeah, I agree.
yeah. As a footnote to that, maybe if it is accounting specific and you're thinking about starting a firm or like quitting your job, um, groups like Future Firm and Realized by Jason Statz and Ryan Lazanis is his Future Firm. Those were major for me. And I joined Future Firm, I think, before I even quit my job. And Ryan has all the steps to starting a business laid out. And then Jason has a lot of the different tech demos, and a really good group of people. I'm in there in a couple masterminds and running a pod. Those groups are huge for if you're considering it and you want like some really solid experience and see a lot what a lot of other people are trying, um, in your position. those groups are amazing for that. And that was huge for me. I built my whole business based on Future Firm in the first like 6 months, for sure.
Hey, that's great advice, and I'm sure that many people from our audience can take advantage of that. So that's great. Taylor, it has been great. It has been great to talk with you. I'm happy that we made this episode together. Everyone, if you want to go and check out what Taylor is doing in Celerity, it's celerity.io, correct? The website.
Yeah.
And how can people get in touch with you?
Probably LinkedIn or Twitter. That's probably the two best.
LinkedIn or Twitter. Feel free just to reach out to Taylor at Celerity. That I'm sure that they will be able to help you out. And Taylor, once again, thank you so much for being parts humans in accounting. And well, see you soon in a couple of weeks in Scottsdale. All right.
Yeah. Thanks again, man. Honored.
Thank you. Have a good day. Take care.
You too.